Hi everybody, welcome and thank you for being with me today. My friends and foes, this is where I draw the line. I've always professed that this channel is mainly about one thing: fairness. Everything else comes after that. There are honestly very few people in the world I intensely dislike. Well, actually forget about intensely. There are few people whom I can actually point to and say I dislike. People just somehow do not bother me much. If I don't like them, I block them, I ignore them, I ghost them. And when I do like them, I am indeed a loyal friend or kind to them, or I'm friendly or complimentary, depending on who they are, whether they are close or not close, whether they celebrities or family or someone in my town or neighborhood. So having said that, I can tell you this, and this is me being very honest and not just saying what I think you want me to say. I do not like Meghan Markle. I like nothing about her. I do not like her face. I do not like her mannerisms. I do not like her voice. I do not like her lying. I don't trust her. I would not trust her, even if she approached me with a gift. I am so distrustful of her that I would not eat or drink anything she offers me. I'm pretty sure that I would not like her even if she had an epiphany tomorrow and became a nun or a reborn Christian. However, do I intensely dislike her? Hell no. I think so little of her that I do not think about her unless I see something about her on Instagram or in the media. There are aspects of her being which does concern me. Yes, indeed. I personally think she ruined or destroyed the little bit of potential Harry had left, and I am afraid that she may do that and worse to one or both children. Other than that, I do not care about Meghan Markle one way or the other. She is truly out of sight, out of mind for me. Harry, honestly, he baffles me with his childish whining and whinging. He is indeed a broken child in an adult's body, and I can honestly say that the mother in me actually feels sorry for him. I sometimes wish I could fix him, although I know I can't. But I feel all of this until, yes, until he opens his mouth. You have to go very far to find such rubbish, such utter tripe coming from a single human being. I think it is because I still have this tiny bit of empathy for him and feel that little sadness when I look at what he has become, that I also still get angry of the nonsense he gets himself into. I believe Meghan is mentally ill in a warped, disgusting way. And I also think Harry is mentally ill, but in a broken down, nothing left kind of way. Just looking at Harry, he does not even look like Harry anymore. So do I dislike him? I can't even say. I do not particularly like him, nor do I really dislike him. He can just irritate the living daylights out of me. And it must be said clearly that I absolutely 100% strongly disagree with what he did to his family, his father included. Even if his father was, say, Darth Vader or Satan, our instructions are clear. Honor thy father and mother. Okay, so now to the crux of the matter. We expect Harry to honor his father and treat his family with kindness and respect. Well, guys, unfortunately it works both ways. Charles cannot stop being Harry's father at a whim. And I'm sorry, but denying Harry a place to stay, one of 52 suites in Buckingham Palace, is one of the most disgusting things I have seen Charles and his office do. And I mean ever. I do not care what anyone says, and all the excuses Buckingham Palace is coming up with now is utter tripe and makes the whole drama even worse. We may have even ignored it all had they not lied. That is my opinion. I would have said, "Que sera, sera," until Buckingham Palace lied. So let's make this clear. There is no such thing as the short notice makes logistics, getting the right personnel, blah-de-blah-de-blah, impossible. That is the biggest load of Torben and Drake / Charles bullshit since the death of the Queen. Buckingham Palace have 188 staff bedrooms, which is largely occupied. Cleaners, housekeepers, and full-time kitchen personnel, and a chef, regardless of the fact that there is no royal living there. So what logistics they are talking about? They should actually try and come and explain to me. If 800 staff cannot get a suite ready for Harry, then they should all be fired. Also remember, there is an operational cafeteria and post office inside Buckingham Palace. And we know Harry has no issue with a beer and a burger. So this is really utter nonsense, and people who want to say, "Oh, you don't know how the palace works." Well, it is also not as complicated as you may think. Just because it's a palace does not mean that it's run by, say, demigods. The royal household, as it is called, is operated by men and women, married, single, fathers, mothers, and everything in between. The royal household, as they are collectively known, has one boss, and that is Charles Mountbatten Windsor. If he gets his equerry or private secretary to pick up a phone and instruct the head butler to get a room ready for Harry, it will be ready in 10 minutes, if not less. The second excuse is that the verdict on Harry's case against A&L is due today, and Charles cannot be involved or seem to be involved. What rubbish! If the verdict is handed down today, it has already been decided, and Harry staying at Buckingham Palace or not is not going to change anything. Besides, if Charles did interfere, then he would have done so weeks ago, and very much clandestine, behind the scenes, quietly, underhandedly, under the table kind of thing, okay? Not openly by allowing his son to make statements from the media office in Buckingham Palace. And allegedly, apparently, I saw a comment who suggested that, saying that maybe Charles and his advisors are afraid that after the verdict Harry may make a statement from Buckingham Palace, making it more legit, more royal, blah, blah, blah. No. Nobody, but nobody, gets into the north wing of Buckingham Palace without permission from, at least a working royal. And it's not the Queen's time where she allowed Andrew to bring all his buddies in. No, things have changed. Charles may not want to live in Buckingham Palace, but he doesn't want to hand it over so that anyone else can use it either. So all he does is give instructions that no paparazzi, no journalist allowed inside Buckingham Palace, and the Buckingham Palace media office not to speak to Harry, and it will be so. Guys, I know I'm making you angry now, but I see it all over social media today. Good for Charles, yay, yippee, Charles, he said no, finally, da-da-da-da-da, Harry this, Harry that. Now I think and I feel that you and I, yes, I'm including myself, have overcomplicated everything. Let's say your son or your daughter phones you and says, Mom, Dad, I need your help. Can I come stay for a few days? Now, unless that kid is a serial killer psychopath who will likely kill you, will you say no? Now, we don't have staff or a chef, yet we'll go and pack up our sewing room or take out fresh linen, and we'll make space for that child, even if it's on the couch. And we'll do that whether she is 14 or 40. How many of us can raise our hands and truthfully say that our children have never ever said or done something hurtful? I know for a fact that among my viewers are indeed parents with sons and daughters who have used drugs, others who had even been violent with a parent once or twice. Kids who have not spoken to a mother or father for years. Yet, if that son or daughter comes knocking, you will open the door and switch on the kettle. Now, my dear friends, I will keep your secrets and I will not call you out one by one, but you know who you are and you know who I'm talking to. I myself have a history with one of my children and many years of buckets full of tears behind us. But I can tell you now that I shall always open my door to my children, whatever it takes. And I know for a fact that most of you would do exactly the same. So please, for the love of God, explain to me why you expect anything else or any less from Charles. Now, I've read your comments. Security, blah, blah, blah. Security is a completely separate issue, and it has nothing to do with Harry staying at Buckingham Palace. There is 24/7 security and surveillance, whether Harry is there or not. There are permanent butlers, cleaners, cooks, chefs, summer holidays or not. Living quarters are completely separate from tourist areas. There are a whole number of exits and places where he can drive in and not be seen. I think some people making comments have no idea how big Buckingham Palace and the surrounding area really is. It is like a mini town inside a city. It appears that most of you think of Buckingham Palace as some sort of out-of-season hotel. Well, that is very, very far from the truth. Buckingham Palace has 77,000 square meters of floor space. The actual building is 108 meters long, 120 meters deep, and 24 meters high, and it has a 39-acre rear garden and a 3.5-acre lake. It has 19 state rooms for entertaining, 52 principal bedrooms, 188 staff bedrooms, 92 offices, 78 bathrooms, a helicopter landing pad, a swimming pool, a tennis court. All in all, including kitchens and pantries, etc., it has 775 rooms. This includes, listen to this, a cinema, a doctor's surgery, a jeweler's workshop, a post office. Now there's a little outdoor restaurant for ticket holders, tourists, but you have to do the tour first before you can access it. But other than that, not accessible to the public, there's also a huge canteen, or at least that is what they call it, for staff with, listen to this, wooden refectory tables, artwork from the royal collection. It serves 3 different hot dishes daily, as well as a cold buffet. So not your average canteen. So no, you guys are wrong. They may have less staff at times when they're not entertaining, but there is always staff, including cooks, bottle washers, cleaners, maids, valets, butlers, all the time. I'm sorry that some of you have been misled by the likes of Torben Andre and the Buckingham Palace Media Centre. There is no credible reason for Harry not to have been given a suite in the North Wing. None. I do not care what he said or what he did. To turn around and say there's no room in a 52-bedroom inn is downright nasty. And I have a feeling that if God is not already mad at Charles, he certainly is now. Guys, hear me out. If Nikolai Ceausescu and Robert Mugabe and Mobutu Sese Seko and Vladimir Putin could overnight in Buckingham Palace, why can't Harry? Now, having come to this point, Charles, in my opinion, does not have the same obligation towards photograph taking Ms. Longfingers Markle. I would likely not allow her into my toilet for free in case she makes off with the toilet paper. But now that Harry is coming alone, I think this Buckingham Palace move was petty and sad. Very sad. So now, my dears, unfortunately, I think the gloves are off. I don't know what will come out of Harry's mouth next, but I think I'm going to blame him just a little bit less. I said this in a comment under yesterday's video. Do not confuse this accommodation issue with a security issue. It is 2 separate matters. It is my opinion that what Harry is really after when it comes to his security is IPP status, a way to be in on what is happening behind the scenes in the royal family and as a protection in other ways, i.e. immunity from certain types of lawsuits. For example, if Harry had IPP status, Sophie Chanduka would not have been able to sue him. Under no circumstances should Harry, in my opinion, have royal RASP security or even less have IPP status. Number one, he's not a working royal. Number two, he cannot be trusted with insider information as he is still using drugs, smoking weed, and has, in my opinion, mental health and anger issues. He cannot be trusted with the kind of insider information IPP would afford him. And his wife can be trusted even less. I've also been saying for a long time that Harry is not the British citizens and taxpayers' problem. He is not William's problem, and he is not Camilla's problem. He is Charles's problem. Charles needs to face his son across the table and lay down the law. If Charles wants a lawyer and a priest there, then so be it. But it has to be done. This back and forth and communicating via the media is nonsense. And it makes the entire monarchy look like a low-budget soap opera. It must stop. If Charles wants to be the father who refuses his son bed and breakfast, then he should go all the way and strip Harry of his titles and cut him off for real and put all of us out of our misery. Let Harry go into the world as Harry Mountbatten Windsor or Harry Spencer or whatever he decides to call himself. Let's see what happens. Charles is doing what the Queen did not want Harry and Meghan to do. This hot and cold and in and out and in and out. Jeez, stop it. Maybe Harry and Uncle Andy should get together and write the book both of them so desperately want to write, and they can call it Karma. Okay, guys, I know I did not endear myself to you today, but I just cannot join the crowd and gleefully clap and rejoice at Harry being turned away from a royal residence. I can actually personally feel what he is feeling. And my friends, I don't want to give too much away about myself, but it is not a good feeling. So next we'll talk about today's verdict. I'm still waiting for the news. Lately it comes so late that, well, we will likely only get to talk about it tomorrow. So until then, please take care, stay vigilant, and stay safe. Bye.